You know, when you picture a space program, what comes to mind? Gleaming launch pads, right? Billion-dollar rockets, massive control centers. But what if I told you that one of the world's leading space agencies didn't start there? Their journey to the stars began with bicycles, bullock carts, and a dream that just wouldn't quit. Okay, let's get right into this incredible story.
This right here, this one sentence, is basically the DNA of India's entire space program. It comes from its founder, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, and his vision was never about a space race or planting a flag for bragging rights. From day one, it was about one thing: using the most advanced science imaginable to solve the real-world problems of everyday people.
And to really get why that's so unique, you have to travel back in time with me to 1947. India was a brand new, independent nation, and it was facing enormous challenges. I'm talking about widespread poverty, food shortages, you name it. In that world, space exploration sounded like an impossible fantasy, a luxury that only superpowers could afford.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. While the US and the Soviet Union were locked in this high-stakes, high-cost Cold War space race for prestige and power, Dr. Sarabhai took India down a completely different path. The goal wasn't just to go to other planets, it was to use space to improve life on our planet, through better weather forecasts, satellite communication, and even education.
So, the official journey kicks off in 1962. A new organization called INCOSPAR picks a launch site in a small, quiet fishing village named Thumba, but there was a bit of a problem. They didn't have any modern facilities, no labs, no mission control, nothing. So what did they do? They improvised.
I'm not kidding you. The Mission Control Center for India's very first rocket launches was a small local church.
And where did the scientists and engineers do all their planning? The main office was the bishop's house, right next door.
And this image says it all. This is how they transported heavy rocket components to the launch pad, literally on the back of bicycles and on traditional bullock carts. This wasn't a lack of ambition. It was a powerful symbol of their sheer, unstoppable determination.
And right into this incredible scene walks a young, brilliant engineer named APJ Abdul Kalam. He came from a very humble background, but he had a huge dream: to build rockets for his country. Working under Dr. Sarabhai, he would soon become a key hero in this entire story. All of this hard work started paying off, and fast. In 1969, the organization officially becomes ISRO. By 1975, they get their first satellite, Aryabhata, into space with a little help from the Soviet Union. But the real game changer was 1980. That's when they launched the Rohini satellite using their own rocket built right there in India.
But you know, that big success in 1980 didn't come easy. In fact, it was born directly from a major public failure. It all revolved around India's very first attempt to build its own satellite launch vehicle, the PSLV-3, and the man in charge was none other than Dr. Kalam.
Their first launch in 1979 was a bust. The rocket malfunctioned and plunged right into the sea. For a young program with very little money, a setback like that could have been absolutely devastating. It could have been the end.
But they did not give up, no way. The team worked around the clock, they figured out what went wrong, and just 1 year later, they were back on the launch pad. This time, it was a flawless success. The SLV-3 worked perfectly. It put the Rohini satellite into orbit, and just like that, India was officially in the Space Club.
Okay, so let's fast forward through decades of hard work which all led to one of the most amazing achievements in the entire history of space exploration, the Mars Orbiter mission, also known as Mangalyaan.
Now here's the part that just blows everyone's mind. ISRO managed to pull off this mission to another planet for a tiny fraction of the cost of similar missions. It was an absolutely stunning display of frugal engineering and out-of-the-box thinking that made the whole world just stop and stare.
And then came the headline that nobody saw coming. In 2014, India didn't just get to Mars, it became the very first nation in history to successfully get into Martian orbit on its maiden voyage. Its first try. That had never, ever been done before. An absolutely mind-boggling achievement.
So, you've just conquered Mars on your first attempt. What do you do for an encore? Well, ISRO turned its sights back to our closest neighbor, the Moon, with the super-ambitious Chandrayaan program.
And this wasn't a one-and-done kind of thing. It was a journey, step by step. First, Chandrayaan-1 makes the groundbreaking discovery of water molecules on the lunar surface. Then Chandrayaan-2, now its lander tragically crashed, but the orbiter was a success and kept sending back tons of crucial data. Each mission was a stepping stone, building on the lessons of the last.
And it all led to this historic, goosebumps-inducing moment. In 2023, Chandrayaan-3 successfully touched down, making India the first and so far the only country to ever soft-land a spacecraft near the treacherous, unexplored South Pole of the Moon.
So you take all of that, the failures, the incredible perseverance, the stunning successes, and what do you have? You have ISRO, which has been transformed into one of the most respected and capable space agencies on the planet.
I mean, today, ISRO has a whole fleet of advanced, reliable rockets. Its workhorse, the PSLV, is so trusted that dozens of other countries line up to have it launch their satellites for them. They've become a go-to, trusted partner in global space exploration. And believe me, the dream is far from over. The next giant leap is a mission called Gaganyaan, India's first mission to send its own astronauts into space. And after that, missions to Venus and even deeper into the solar system are already being planned. When you think about it, the journey has come full circle. From running mission control out of a small church, carrying rocket parts on bicycles, to a global space powerhouse that lands on the moon and orbits Mars. It's just incredible.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this story is really about, isn't it? It's not just about the technology and the rocket fuel. It's a powerful reminder that the greatest human achievements so often start in the most humble of places, fueled not by money, but by an unbreakable belief in a shared dream.
Well, this story is the answer. This is what happens. It shows us what's possible, not just for one country, but for all of us, when we have the courage to look up at the stars and reach for them, no matter where we start.